So this is my wife Rachel and I'm Peter, and we have three lovely children. We have Oliver, who is 12, Lottie, who is 10, and Livy, who is 7.
So Livy got her diagnosis of glue ear and we were put on watching and waiting, which is really normal to see if the glue goes away, because it often does. The reason that she got a diagnosis in the end was because we just had to keep going back to the doctor. Just got lots of colds, she got lots of ear infections.
And her language perhaps wasn't coming on as you might have expected.
And it just so happened that at that time I'd read an article that you could treat glue ear with hearing aids. No one told us about that when we were actually at the hospital. They said we're going to watch and wait and then come back and we can later talk about grommets. But they didn't mention the hearing aids to us. But I'd read about it in the National Deaf Children's Society magazine, so I rang the National Deaf Children's Society and asked a little bit more, and the helpline lady was great and she said, yes, you just asked for it. So I did, and immediately got referred to the Department of Audiology, where they do hearing aids.
She was given one to begin with. She had one hearing aid and she got on very, very well with that.
She really liked it.
And she almost immediately, we saw a difference in the way that she was responding to different environments. She was able to communicate a lot more clearly. She could obviously hear what we were saying, and that worked really well.
I remember driving her home from audiology actually as soon as she got it, and I always have the radio on low, and she said, "Mummy, what's that noise?" And first time she'd heard that the radio was on, and the seatbelt beep. So I didn't put the seatbelt on straight away and she heard the seatbelt beep, and that was just 2 examples in the first 20 seconds of getting in the car of things she'd just not heard before she got the hearing aid.
And the second hearing aid, it worked, but she didn't like wearing it as much. Once she went to school and there was a much noisier environment, then the hearing aid started to maybe work against her.
It didn't work nearly as well when she went to school, and it was just too busy and too many children, and she didn't like it, and it didn't work. And then we got parents' evening around, I don't know, beginning of the summer term, and they said she's not meeting her potential. And at that point we felt we had to move from the hearing aid back into the ear, nose and throat department. So she did end up having grommets. Grommets were a good thing when we got to that point. But I'm glad we didn't do them too quickly though.
Yes.
Because we still needed 2 sets. So it was good that we tried something else, and something else that worked beforehand, because you don't want to be doing, well, we didn't want to be putting her under general anaesthetic more times than you could possibly need to.
Yeah.
So where she is now, so Libby does still have glue ear, so she's 7 now, so we're hoping that, this might be her last winter. She should start to grow out of it.
Definitely worse in the winter, so we kind of see it in winters, don't we? If we get through this winter, then hopefully she might have grown out of it by next summer.
That's the hope.
She's doing well at school at the moment, and her reading has come on a lot. I think it would be a lot further on than it is now if maybe she obviously hadn't had glue ear when she was younger. Libby is thriving in many ways, and she's such a happy child, and she's very popular at school, which is lovely to see.